Part 2. Azure Moon. Great Tree Moon. Blood of the Eagle and Lion. Now in control of the Great Bridge of Myrddin, the Kingdom Army begins to invade Imperial territory. In response, the Imperial Army garrisons soldiers at Fort Merceus.
Hey, Professor, something's been bothering me. Remember that suspicious guy I chased after back when I was a student? A knight scolded me for it, but at the time, I really thought I was doing the right thing. Now that I've had more experience on the battlefield, though...
I've been looking for you. There isn't much time, so I'll keep this brief. The knights encountered a band of brigands while out marching. It was hard fought, but we prevailed. Our soldiers are highly trained, but the enemy was formidable, and we weren't expecting combat. There were a number of casualties among our troops. Much appreciated, but there's a reason I need to bring this to your attention. Do you recall the incident 5 years ago involving a suspicious individual in Garreg Mach? These brigands all bore the same scorpion tattoo that we found on the arm of that man.
Oh no.
I thought that might be of interest to you. Don't mention it. If you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my duties.
Heck of a coincidence, right? As soon as I mention that suspicious guy, this happens. But some of the knights died in combat. They died because of what I did 5 years ago. This is my fault. If I'd stayed quiet and tracked the guy down like you said, we would have stopped those brigands sooner, and I wouldn't have blood on my hands. It's no use trying to comfort me. You know I'm right. Just say it. Those poor knights. It's all my fault.
We have received a report from our spy. It would seem the Empire is gathering troops at Fort Merceus. This is undoubtedly in response to us taking the Great Bridge of Myrddin. Their numbers are more than double ours. We believe that the Emperor herself may be leading them. If House Regan can reconcile with House Gloucester sooner than later, then Claude can proceed with his plan to rally the Alliance Lords, gather troops, and invade Empire territory.
At this rate, 3 military forces will be clashing at Gronder Field.
If you wish to indulge in nostalgia, do it elsewhere.
I'm afraid the difference in military strength is far from negligible. While we are elite soldiers, I am still uneasy about this.
If possible, I'd like to request reinforcements right away. If we can rely on any of the major kingdom houses for military support, it would be House Karen, I'd wager. House Karen has yet to declare fealty to the Empire.
It is also my home. I will make the request to my father. With things as they are, I don't think he can refuse. The Church has long protected me. I am certain that any request from the Church will be answered to the utmost of their ability.
Very well. We're counting on you, Catherine.
I suppose that is all we can do for now.
So it would seem. Though if there are any other avenues worth exploring, I would suggest...
Ah, good point. We have no reason to engage the Alliance directly.
Even if we do receive Count Karen's aid, we still won't have the troops we need to face the Empire.
But if we join forces with the Alliance, then our numbers will rival the Empire's. Agreed. It's about the only thing we can do. For now, let's send a messenger and try to figure out what the Alliance hopes to achieve.
It's hard to believe this decisive battle will take place at Gronder Field. I imagine that place is full of memories for all of you.
We won the Battle of the Eagle and Lion back in the day. It seems like a lifetime ago.
I can't help but remember, even though I wish I didn't.
Our feast after the battle. I remember it well. We all had so much fun together.
No! Please, stop it. I had finally put all of that out of my mind. This isn't right. They're our friends. We used to study together. We shouldn't be fighting them.
Why not march up to Her Majesty in a reminder of that? Oh, that's right. Because you want to live to see tomorrow.
No matter who the enemy is, I will fight for His Highness.
Tell me, Boar Prince, do we stand a chance?
Who knows?
If we lose, we'll have died for you. I hope you know that.
That's enough, Felix. We must focus on the battle ahead.
Make your peace before we depart. It's kill or be killed out there. We will cross blades with the Empire, but it's possible we will also have to strike down the Alliance.
Your Highness, do you feel no hesitation about killing your former friends?
I'm used to killing familiar faces by now.
Here for the flowers again? I see.
I have two things to say. First, I thank you for supporting His Highness in my absence. But I must also admonish you for taking your own well-being too lightly. On several occasions, I have seen you protect others by putting yourself in harm's way. I am grateful for your efforts, but I feel you should place a higher value on your own life. His Highness relies on you, as do I. Then show that with your actions. We cannot afford to lose an invaluable asset like you. And this greenhouse would be a more lonely place without you in it. It would not be fair to the flowers to leave me their only caretaker. Someday, I hope to show you a whole landscape of these flowers in full bloom. Yes. Once this conflict is over, and His Highness ascends the throne, I believe it can be done. You must live at least until then. Understood? I had not thought much of my own life until now, except that I would gladly cast it aside for His Highness. That is still true, but now I desire to see the end of this war. Until I can show you the fields of dusk are in bloom, I will go on living. past.
Oh yeah! Nailed it!
Thank you.
Professor!
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The Great Tree Moon is finally upon us. It's time to celebrate a new year. We only get so many. Folks up top don't seem to be in the mood to celebrate, though. I hate war.
I used to be a rather important person in the church, but I am in exile for committing a crime. I embezzled some money, but it wasn't out of greed. My hometown was pillaged, you see, and the church wasn't putting in enough to rebuild. Please, you can't tell anyone you saw me here. I'm in hiding from the army. I couldn't stand the war, the violence. I had to get away. Now that I've deserted, I can't go home. Justice, ambition, what does any of that matter if you're dead? I just want to live. Is that so wrong?
That Duke Fraldarius is a rather outstanding guy. Getting into his good graces isn't without challenges. If he were a bit more corrupt, he'd be much more pliable. I'm not trying to pull anything funny, just noting that he's a respectable soldier. I hear he's the sort to have drinks with his men, getting to know them personally. Just last night, he and Felix had a chat. I'm sure there's a lot to work out between them.
Across the bridge is Burgley's territory. It marks the start of our incursion into the Empire. Worry not. I feel no trepidation as we do this. Mark how my spellcraft carries us through to Envar, heart of the Empire.
What a pain. What an absolute pain.
Concerned, are you? That's nice. A little too nice. Here's a word of warning. If anyone here asks you for a favor, it's probably just a scam. Here's a word of warning.
We've seen the face of evil. One of its faces, at least. And the Alliance is involved now. Hopefully, we can avoid dragging Alliance territory through the horrors of war. I may have cut ties with my family, but I still want them to be safe and all.
They're fighting people we used to know from the Officers' Academy. Guess that's the kind of thing that happens in war, but still, it's pretty twisted. It makes me feel so... Ugh. Maybe I'll just try not to think about it.
That might come in here. That might come in here. That might come in here. That might come in here.
After we cross the Great Bridge of Murden, we'll be in my father's territory. We actually crossed it 5 years ago for the Battle of the Eagle and Lion, remember? Oh, this is terrifying. What am I gonna do? I gotta get a grip. Oh, no. You should pray we don't run into him at all. The front lines cover a long stretch of land, you know?
Say, I once saw the prince patting the head of an orphan from the monastery. Does this mean even that cruel man has some empathy in his heart? Was it just a random whim? Maybe my eyes just tricked me.
As powerful as our knights are, we're outnumbered by a long shot. This won't be easy. It's crazy to attempt this. I guess I'm crazy to go along with it.
Hello there.
Hey, you. Hello. So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
you.
What do you think? I hear the next battle could be a big one. Is that true? I miss the old days when if someone got hurt, we'd rush them to the infirmary and make them well. But on the battlefield, there's not enough time to help. People die. Professor, don't be one of those.
The thought of fighting people who were once our friends, it makes my heart heavy. If it was gonna come to this, maybe I should have avoided making friends with people from the Empire and the Alliance to begin with. I just don't know, Professor. I'm having a hard time with it. It did often seem strange to me at the Academy that we were studying with all these people from all over the world. But I feel like I've finally started to understand the real reason behind it. The more you get to know people from other places, the harder you'll try to avoid fighting wars with them.
So, we're finally going to set foot in the Empire. I'm starting to get a little nervous. We already fought Ferdinand at the Great Bridge of Murden, but I guess there's a good chance we'll be fighting more old friends from here on out.
If we defeat the Imperial army at Gronder Field, what will our next objective be? I guess we won't have much choice but to try to take Fort Mercius, on the far side of Gronder Field. It's probably too soon for us to be thinking about that, isn't it? The battle just ahead of us is far from certain.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you're the one giving orders on the battlefield, Professor. I don't think we should trust Dimitri with that task. Although it's thanks to his obsession that we're wasting no time, taking the shortest route to defeating the Empire. I just can't see a bright future for this army, fighting as we are under the banner of a prince possessed. Even if we do succeed in defeating the Empire, I wonder what will become of Fodlan. I apologize. Whenever I'm with you, I speak more openly than I should. Please keep this between us. Thank you for bringing me here. I've been given permission to take part in this next mission, too. I'll finally be able to avenge my brother. I swear. I'll take down that monster.
Yet another grand battle awaits. Many will lose their lives. I am well aware. This is war, after all. Even considering those we are up against. Friends from a time now past. I won't hold back.
Catherine will surely be able to convince Count Karen. All that remains is to wait for a response from the Alliance side. For now, there are preparations to be made for the coming battle. I have a request. Catherine will sure all that for now.
Really?
My thanks. You have my sincerest gratitude. Circumstances and my wounds have prevented me from being by His Highness's side these 5 years. I am grateful that you have found him for me. I am once again in your debt.
I can finally kill her. Finally, I can avenge them.
Okay.
Thanks to our victory, I've been able to study the Great Bridge of Murden at my leisure. And you know what? It's an astounding structure. So much history there. Imagine how much time and effort it must have taken to build something that big. Over water, no less. I hope that someday it will be opened up to the people of Fodlan, a historical site, rather than a military checkpoint.
Hey, you.
A moment, please.
Okay. Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too. He is Minister of the Imperial Household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
Hey, I could use a hand.
I have a thought. Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Mercius. If they decide to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
When undertaking research, the usual method is to form a hypothesis, then test it with experiments. Those experiments reveal facts and falsehoods, yet sometimes they also unveil an exception. You seem to be that exception when it comes to my crest research. Worry not, Professor. Exceptions are what make my work interesting. Why don't the rules apply to you? I will find out eventually. I feel it is my destiny as a crest scholar.
I have a thought.
Hey!
Pardon me.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what? That whole area is in the territory of House Burgleys. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all!
Reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but we have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
Yeah. You know, war really is terrible. People die, food becomes scarce. Weapons and rations start selling like hotcakes. Nobles start begging for loans. Oh, I didn't mean for that to sound so cold, really. Anyway, where are we off to this time? I hope it's the Alliance.
Really now, there's unrest everywhere these days. I hope they... Hey, how about a favor?
Right.
Okay.
Professor.
Right.
The campaign continues, does it? Well, allow me, as a professional recluse with 10 years of experience, to volunteer for, staying behind. Oh, who am I kidding? The fighting won't stop until we've defeated Edelgard, will it? Or until we lose, I guess. But there's not much use in thinking about that. The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? I'm glad you have not forgotten. It was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday. Maybe.
The Great Bridge of Murden was considerably better fortified than it was 5 years ago. The bridge was full of soldiers, and they all died. And Ferdy was there. We killed Ferdy, Professor. He used to be our friend. Do you remember those days?
Say we do manage to take down Edelgard here. What do you think His Highness will do next? As long as there's a plan, I won't complain. I just, want to know there is a plan. Well, I'd be happy if that were the case, but I don't figure that'll actually happen. All this isn't just gonna magically end the moment we kill Edelgard. It's gone too far. I suppose we should focus on the battle right in front of us, instead of what happens later.
No. I can hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. I never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably all gonna die, let's be honest.
His Highness, Lord Rodrigue, you? There's really something wrong with a lot of you, I swear.
I've got to keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
Oh, it's you, Professor. Sorry, I was a little lost in thought there, about all that has happened and all that is to come. I'm sure the battles ahead will not be easy, but please take good care of His Highness.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
Hey, wait.
What is it?
You defended me in battle. Why?
His Highness does not wish for our military strength to be depleted. The loss of your strength would be significant.
You are a colossal idiot. One slip-up and you would have died. You think you would have been happy about that?
No, I do not.
Then why protect me? I thought you were his mindless weapon, his sword and shield.
I heard about your brother. He was a Dusker. He died to protect His Highness.
He did, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. Are you repaying some kind of debt? I hope you're not going to praise his death. I hear enough of that from my old man.
I will not praise it then. Instead, I will say I would have done the same in his position. Is it really so unnatural to put one's life on the line to protect a brother in arms?
To hear a rabid dog call me a brother in arms.
Your insults are merely an attempt to avoid addressing me as what I am. I am a man of Dusker, yet you were concerned for my life.
Concerned is a strong word. Your death would have been unpleasant, that's all.
Coming from you, that is enough.
What's that supposed to mean? I just meant... never mind. Okay, go ahead, protect me. But if you act like a fool and get yourself killed, I'll kill you.
How can you kill me if I am already dead?
You know what I meant.
You're quite late getting back.
The scouting mission didn't go well. I was so busy I didn't even have time to eat.
I thought that might be the case. Gilbert was exhausted too. Glad you made it. I saved some food for you.
Oh, thanks. I'm starving. Your cooking's fantastic, as always. The spices were a nice touch. I can really taste the Dusker inspiration. You remembered that I wanted to try more Dusker cuisine, didn't you?
Yes. How is it?
Amazing. You're a much better chef than I am.
Your cooking is not bad at all.
Thanks. My father would be glad to hear it.
Is he the one who taught you?
Not exactly. I learned from watching him work the kitchen in his restaurant. And what about you? I think you said that you and your sister helped with the cooking at home.
Yes. I learned by watching my mother. Nothing remains of Dusker. The towns, the people, the culture. All of it was put to the torch. My mother and sister are gone. Yet that simple memory of them standing together in the kitchen is so clear, so real.
So in a way, you put those memories into this meal.
Yes. Through me, they are able to live on.
I like that way of thinking. The church may not like my feelings on this, but in Fodlan, when people die, they pass on to be with the goddess, right?
I suppose.
That seems so far away. I'd rather they stayed here. My parents, my brother, Lanato, maybe they can all live on through me, too.
As long as you think of them, they will.
Dudu. Your cooking is delicious. It really is.
Careful, or you will oversalt it.
That's all right. Thank you, Dudu.
Eat as much as you'd like.
Oh, Dudu! Are you praying to the goddess of Fodlan? That seems odd. Won't the Dusker gods be upset if they hear you praying to another land's deity?
The Fodlan goddess was recognized in Dusker, too. The deities of foreigners are seen as the protectors of their respective lands. It has been said that we would offer our prayers to her in times of war.
Huh. So the goddess is part of a pantheon. I guess that's one way to interpret it. Anyway, what are you praying for?
For peace to come even one day sooner.
That's a lovely prayer. I was just thinking about praying for that myself.
I see.
Hey, Dudu, what are your plans for yourself once this war is finally over?
To serve His Highness for the rest of my days.
I thought you might say that.
And you?
That's a good question. I was thinking about traveling to Dusker.
To Dusker? There is nothing of interest left there.
Isn't it where you were born? And isn't it where your wonderful food and stories come from? I think those are reasons enough to visit at least once.
Mercedes. If you will allow it, I would like to accompany you. His Highness would surely grant me leave to go.
You really think so? Then I hope the war ends as soon as possible.
As do I.
We're going to have to shower the goddess with prayers. We'll pray that she watches over and protects us while we work to end this war. Then, when it's finally finished, we can travel.
That promises to be interesting. We should pray to the Dusker gods as well.
Yes, that's a brilliant idea. Which of the Dusker gods should we pray to?
For victory, we pray to the god of war, or just the god of war.
Come on, what were you going to say? Oh, I know. It's the god of travel, right?
Let us leave it at that.
I knew I was right. You taught me so much about your gods. So let's pray. For the end of the war, and for our safe travels to Dusker.
I'm sorry. So sorry.
What is it, Annette?
I completely forgot that it's my turn for kitchen duty today. Huh? Did you do all the kitchen prep already?
Kitchen duty is mine today.
What? But, oh, did I get the day wrong?
Yes, yours is tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Wow, I really am something else.
These things happen. Is something funny?
Oh, no, I was just happy. You see, my uncle is really strict. He wanted me to be perfect at cooking, studying, cleaning, washing, everything really. He said if I wasn't perfect, as a knight's daughter, I'd be devaluing my crest. Whenever I messed up, he looked so mad, and he'd sigh like he just lost his faith in humanity.
That is harsh.
Oh, I know he loved me and all. He was just kind of scary. But you've helped me out and been patient with me without getting mad. I'm just so happy. Thank you, Dedu.
I have hardly done anything.
You know what? You remind me of my father.
Of Gilbert.
You look scary at first glance, but you're actually really kind.
Is that so?
Oh, right. Let me help you with something, if that's okay with you. What are you cooking today? Hopefully I can chip in.
It is a meat dish from Fargus.
I'm still a complete klutz, so I'm not gonna be in the way, am I?
Not at all. I was hoping that the food I made would bring a smile to your face.
Oh, wow. That's... Well then, I can't wait for dinner time.
Good.
Dedu? Are you okay? You look unwell.
Ingrid. Is my face frightening?
What? I mean, or sort of? Or not exactly. I wouldn't use the word frightening. Aggressive, maybe? But it's really nothing to worry about. Why? Did someone say something cruel?
I made a village child cry.
Oh, I see. Let me guess. You feel like you look frightening, so you walked around with a smile glued to your face.
How did you know?
I'm starting to understand how you think. The thing is, forced smiles never work well. They usually just end up making a person look creepy and insincere.
I see. Duly noted.
To be honest, when we first met, I was pretty intimidated by you. Not because of a smile, but a lack of any emotion whatsoever. And you so rarely spoke. I had no idea what to make of you. But that's only because I wasn't making an effort to get to know you, because you were from Dusker. As I started to get to know you, to understand your personality, I realized what a fool I'd been.
Personality.
You may come off intimidating, but underneath that cool exterior is a kind, loyal, and noble person. A really wonderful person. In a certain regard, you are one of the knightliest people I know. What is it?
Wonderful person. This is the first time anyone has ever said a thing like that to me. It is rather awkward.
It's only awkward if you make it awkward. Which it kind of is, now. Ugh.
Well, let me know if you need anything.
Yes, of course. Same to you, Dedu.
Sylvain!
Hey, Felix. I'm glad you're safe.
You irresponsible fool! Protecting me like that? You're so weak and yet you always...
Look, it doesn't matter. As long as you're safe. You can go on living, while I...
Stop kidding around! You're not going to die. I won't let you!
Nah, I won't die on you, I promise. You think something like this could kill me? No way. A little magic will take care of the wound. Some bed rest, then I'm good to go out and do it all over again.
Sylvain?
Oh, come on, that was funny. It's not like you to be so concerned.
You really are a fool. The biggest in all of Fodlan. I thought something was off. There's no way you could die from such a small cut. You're so reckless and inattentive. I thought this might be divine punishment.
Hey, that's not nice. You should be thanking me.
I am grateful. You've been doing this since we were children. Constantly fooling around, but then showing up and helping when we really need you. I'll admit, seeing that smile on your face, I almost want to give you a hug. Almost.
A hug? Did you get hit on the head? Come on. Tell me you want to hug me again. I liked it.
I won't be repeating it, you halfwit. You're obviously fine, so I'll leave now.
You know how we grew up together?
Obviously.
Do you remember the promise we made when we were kids? About sticking together until we die together?
I remember.
Well, I'm really not trying to get myself killed before you. You know that, right?
I know. But I'm tired of these close calls. You have to stop fooling around. Take your training more seriously. You can die whenever you please, but I'm not going down with you.
Okay, I get it. Once I've healed, I'll get my act together.
Then I hope you have a speedy recovery. Sylvain, thank you.
That's what friends are for, Felix.
Now the flowers are all taken care of. Huh? Felix? Why are you hiding there?
I'm not hiding.
No? Then what are you here for? You don't even have a real reason, do you?
No, I don't.
Then why?
Because of you.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
I want you to sing for me. I hear your voice when I'm asleep or in battle. It's like I'm your captive.
My captive? What are you saying? Oh my, I'm suddenly really flustered.
I can't help it. I don't know what I'm saying. Forget I said anything.
Felix, are you blushing?
I don't know. Shut up. I'm not blushing.
Well, if you feel like that about it, I suppose I could sing for you sometimes. If you like that sort of thing.
Oh? I'd better go. Bye.
Hey, wait! You just got here. Do you want to hear me sing or not?
Yes, I do.
Well, what song do you want me to sing? Bears, swamp beasties, boxes, or dungeon?
I'd like to hear all of them, if you don't mind. Starting with the library song in full. Sing for me, please, Annette?
Well, okay. Just this once.
Hello, Felix. Training alone again, I see.
Spying on me again, I see.
It is not my intention to spy. I am merely concerned about you. I do not think you have been keeping your friends at a distance because you dislike them personally. Rather, I think what bothers you is their concept of proper knighthood. Is that not so?
You really have been watching me closely. You're correct. I don't understand why they revere knighthood. I won't be friends with anyone who believes in that nonsense.
Do you feel that way because of what happened in the tragedy of Dusker? I have heard the story. Your brother was one of the royal knights. He gave his life to defend the prince.
My brother was doing his job. My father is the real problem. When my brother's armor was brought back to the castle, do you know what he said? He died like a true knight. Chivalry begets the worship and glorification of death. Am I alone in finding that grotesque? I suppose you'll excommunicate me for blaspheming like this.
Not at all. I am not a knight, so I have no intentions of lecturing you about chivalry. So long as one's conduct is consistent with the teachings of the goddess, it is up to the individual to decide right from wrong.
In that case, I'd like you to formally pardon me for not having friends.
You require no such pardon. This is merely advice from an old man to a younger one. As unwavering as your convictions may be, the others also feel strongly about their beliefs. If you hate all those whose beliefs are different from yours, you will hate everyone eventually. People with exactly the same beliefs as you simply do not exist. You do not have to change your beliefs, of course. But you do have to accept that others feel differently. That is my advice to you. I will speak no more of it.
Sedith, can I ask one thing? Why are you going out of your way to tell me this? Why bother with me at all?
Because I trust you. Now that I've heard what you have to say, I trust you even more. I am also a rather eccentric person. I thought you and I might get along.
I see. You've gone to so much trouble. I may have to start making an effort as well.
Good. Do not take this the wrong way, but I hope you will surpass my expectations.
Almost forgot how spooky this place is. I don't know if I can do this alone. No, I've got to. What use am I to anyone if I can't even handle an empty tower? Here goes.
The doll from my father must be in there. But I'm too scared to go looking for it.
Annette!
Ash, what are you doing here?
Oh, here, I got this for you.
My doll! You went back for it? But why?
Your father gave it to you. I know you said you'd throw it away, but you can't just toss out something so important.
Ash, thank you. I'm so happy. To be honest, I didn't have the courage to go back in there to get it myself. But thanks to you, I didn't have to. And you're afraid of ghosts, right? Were you okay in there all by yourself?
Well, not really. I tried my best not to think about it. My legs shook whenever I did.
Oh, poor Ash. You're safe now, I promise.
Knock it off, would you? I'm okay now. But I'm glad I could help you and see a smile on your face. Look at me, though. A grown man, scared of ghosts. Pathetic, right?
No, I don't think that at all. I think you're something special, Ash. You were really brave, and all for me. That wasn't an easy thing to do. I'm in awe of you.
Thanks. Maybe there is still hope for me as a knight.
Yes, I'll gladly attest to that. I'm sure you'll be a splendid knight. Maybe you'll even outdo my father.
Well, that's a frightening thought, comparing me to someone like Gilbert. But it's a happy one, too. It makes me want to work that much harder.
Is something the matter? Your heart does not seem to be in your training today.
I'm sorry. Something's been bothering me.
Idle thoughts do hinder training. Tell me what bothers you.
You were sworn to protect the royal family. But when we met 5 years ago, you weren't in the kingdom capital. You were in Garreg Mach. What could have made a great knight like you abandon his vow?
That is difficult to explain. You are aware of the tragedy of Dusker? When the king's party was massacred 9 years ago.
I am. It affected me too. My brother was suspected of being involved in the attack. And so the church, they...
Forgive me. That must be a difficult memory.
Why are you apologizing? It's not your fault.
I disagree. Had I been by His Majesty's side on that day where I was sworn to be, perhaps His Majesty would not have lost his life, and all would be different.
Is that why you left Fargus?
Yes. You may laugh, but I feel I was responsible for everything.
I would never laugh at something like that. But I do think you should have seen things through to the end. Even if you had to endure dishonor for a while, you could have restored your name. I'm sorry. That was inconsiderate of me. I got carried away by how much your situation resembles my own.
You were adopted by Lord Lonato, correct? I once told you that I wish to protect one thing other than my king. And that is my family. My wife and my daughter, both of whom I left behind in the kingdom. Lord Lonato took up his sword for his son, even if that meant turning his back on the goddess. As a father, I cannot condemn Lord Lonato for raising an army. Yet, perhaps he too lost sight of what should be protected, just as I did.
I don't understand what you mean. What should Lonato have protected?
You, Ash, because you are also his son.
You're right. I think I know what I need to protect now. It's been staring me in the face all this time. I don't know why I couldn't see it. I'm Lonato's son. His pride and his wishes are my inheritance. Those are what I should protect.
I see. Ash,
You will be an excellent knight.
It's too early to say that, but I'm willing to learn if you'll teach me.
It would be my pleasure to oversee the training of a new generation.
Still contemplating, I see.
Without so much as a word, you've read me through and through. Since last we spoke, I've been thinking a lot about my future. How I want to spend my life. It's a lot to think about, and I haven't entirely sorted out where I'm going. I think I need more time to grow.
On the contrary, you have given this honest and sincere thought. I am quite impressed, actually.
You're impressed with me?
Worry about the future is not unique to youth. It is human nature. At the risk of being overbearing, might I offer you one more piece of advice?
Of course.
Have you considered what your life would be like had you not been born with a crest? Do you suppose that you would have been ordinary? Insignificant? I do not think so. Even without a crest, such a promising young lady as yourself would have a bright future ahead of her.
Seth, I
am not typically inclined to flattery, so I hope you will take my words to heart. Have faith in yourself. If you trade that faith for a misplaced pride in your crest, I will have to reassess your character.
I've no intention of doing such a thing. It will take me time and experience, but I will find my path and walk it proudly.
I am glad to hear it.